G'day, this is a video for GJ and a monthly, weekly and daily technical update on the pair. So let's take a quick look at it, hey? So price on the monthly has quickly, from analysing this in the past, from Jan all the way up to now in August or September, which we're looking towards, it's been clean, right? So clean removal of the market after November 22, looking left, the structure there had a nice consolidation point. And then ever since here, it's been free reign up from 155 all the way out to 186, essentially, which is insane. It's been a beautiful ride for those long buyers who've been sticking with. Congratulations to you all. Now, price has tapped the fresh monthly supply, which is great. So what happens when you freshly tap? Well, it's an imminent sell, right? So to those who are still holding long, please feel free to do so, because there's a pivot point where on the weekly and monthly it will fall back to, which it did last month on the 176. So keep that area in mind for retesting. However, those who are taking hedge sells, you have every right to do so because you're getting at least 300-400 pips in at present time. Now, why the monthly to start with? So this fresh level here, which I'll just quickly mark as FL. So this fresh level here on the monthly has been tapped. And if you look left, back all the way to 2015 in August and July, now price here has tapped and fallen off and created two nice monthly tweezer points, right? So that's given a false break to the downside. So we're looking to form here a nice monthly close of an indecision candle, take us that a little bit higher to form a nice fresh bar for the next month in September, head up to maybe 190 before becoming very clear for an imminent sell. Now, you get every reaction from a monthly depending on how strong the pulse is for the sell. Looking left again, which is the most important part of our structure here, price actually rejected back in July. So it actually continued to go higher, up to 193, which is an amazing price. Now I'll be looking for that similar setup, not like for like, but patterns always regress and re-emerge. So even though the technical landscape here in structure for the preceding months to follow will be slightly different to the setup in the past, we're still looking for that option to sell in the long term. So, but before we do that, still keep your buys, keep your hedge sells. Now let's take a quick look at the weekly and see what the go is. So a fresh demand zone here drawn, which is the target point for the sells at some point. But price is looking at present a little bit indifferent and indecisive. And to those who are playing the market, taking sells, like I said, you're in a great position to sell and keep hold of it. Now, ideally, for those who are more interested in the sell side of things, price will look back to this point, which was previously analysed on the monthly, showing that price can fall down to the tweezer point below at 180 before heading back up into the zone and finishing off the pattern to complete the overall monthly structure. Now, the important note here is that this weekly trend line may dip further, creating this false sense of breakout to the downside, which will create the liquidity the market needs before selling up and removing all sellers and bringing back the buyers. When you look at this previously in the past, I tend really focusing on this area here in August, September to October. You can see that snap knee-jerk reaction, which is a whipsaw effect, back to the weekly, showing that price is stable in here as it was a weekly zone, which I'll just quickly mark up just for ease of access. So this was a great zone to reject from. Tap the zone and continue to buy. And then if you draw this line here, you can see that it's about to fall off a cliff, which it did. So what does that present us right here? So coming back to now, in the present time market, we're looking for something similar, right? So price has rejected this. It's going to sell down tap this trend line on the TL, head back up, realistically speaking. So keep your buys levels here ready to go to be activated, and let's take a look on the shorter pattern. So it's been quite clear that there's been a PCP here which was rejected. Price didn't quite take the level we wanted to, but it did have a nice re-jerk reaction, and continued to buy up, which was fantastic. So from here, you can see that there's been a high curve forming here. Now prices hit the monthly and weekly respectively on a supply, which is a fresh supply. Now price will look to dwindle down a steep curve back down to here, although it can break. So we'll be looking at an area like this where it's squeeze and then bust out, essentially. So that's kind of like the premise of the structure. Now, if this fails to hold on the daily and just keeps selling down and breaks through this monthly landing point on the tweezer pattern back in 2015, which I keep referring to, then sales will be present down to here, and we'll jump back to the weekly and look for a fresh zone for your targets, for your sales. However, do keep in mind the structure on the monthly is still providing the overall flows going to the upside. So keep you look out for 190. So yeah, hopefully that helps you. Have a good one. Hooroo.